All right. I think we're streaming. All right. Let's see here. Evening, everybody. Let's see. All right. This is David, the Georgia photographer, and I just wanted to do a stream. It's kind of becoming a thing, the Friday night live streams. So what I've decided to do, every live stream I try to improve something about the stream just a little bit more. So today, the improvement comes in. The camera's not going to hunt focus because I put it on manual and just focused on me and called it good. So now it's not going to do that whole deal it was doing in the last stream where it was pumping focus nonstop. The only way I know it does this, since y'all don't help me, is that I watched them. The first thing I had to do was sync the audio. I figured out how to do that and got that fixed. The second thing was to get the light. So now I got some light on me. Oh. Hey, Ray and Phil are here. How y'all guys doing this evening? You must be super bored to be watching me on Friday night. There's got to be some kind of a TV show. Dave Chrissinger, how you doing? You got a cool name. And I have coffee. 6:15. It's still early yet, right? But I thought I would do a... And Ron Durant's here. Hey. Z50 struggles with glasses and when you look down a lot. Yes, it does. I noticed that when I was watching the stream. The moment I would look down to do something or turn my head away to like get something or whatever. Yeah. Oh. We'll turn down the ID on the repeater. And it would like focus on the background or something. And then as soon as I turn around, it... Oh, Hollis is getting on the repeater. But... it'd hunt for a second, and it'd finally find me. And once it locked on, it would stick around pretty good. But, yeah, it struggled a little bit. So now I've got it in manual focus, kind of like I was doing the D810. I just dialed it till it looked good and just left it. Yeah, that way it won't hunt. Let's see, who else we got here? TV show is David Saylors Live. Oh, if you can come out Sunday, you can see me in person. Just saying. If anybody's in the Chattanooga area, Sunday we're going to do a photo walk. I'll just throw that on the ground, see if anybody picks it up. Phil, I'm at work. You suck. You get to watch TV at work. I don't get to do that. And I own the business. Kelly B, in college at 54 here in Finland, but can watch for a bit. Been away from the camera for a bit. Thanks to studies. I don't know what pedagogy is. Pedagogy. I'll have to Google that. That's interesting. The radio adds character. Let's see.
Yeah, and it gets dropped, it gets knocked around.
That's Roger, KG4WBI. This is his repeater.
It gets abused. All microphones do, it seems like.
Yeah, they'll carry on a lengthy conversation. I'll have to turn that down or it'll bug me. It'll interfere with the stream. Teaching. Oh, okay. Thank you. Save me a trip to the YouTubes or the Googles, because I was going to Google it because you had me curious. Man, you're in Finland. That's awesome. I really want to go to Finland and do photography. I have seen photos of Finland. Finland's beautiful. Where is the photo walk going? We're starting at the Choo Choo, and depending on physical abilities, we'll either walk down to the river, and we're going to go up to the Walnut Street Bridge because it's iconic, and George Nagata from the channel is going to meet us, and that's the reason we're kind of organizing it. He's coming in from Chicago, and he's going to spend the afternoon with us and shoot, and then he's got to go back to Nashville to catch his plane that night. But we're just going to wander around downtown. Excuse me. Maybe down Main Street a little bit if we've got time, you know. And if not, then we'll just do what we can. But that was the intention. And, you know, since it's Sunday, maybe go down to the old U.S. pipe ruins, do some urban decay. If we've got, like I said, it just depends on what time, how the time looks. And like I said, I don't know George's physical ability. Some people can walk for hours, some people can't. They just can't. My ankle will put up with it for a certain period of time, but it's the way it works. But that's the tentative plan. Let's see. Nice radio. Thank you. I really wished I could show you. I need a mirror, because then it would kick off the mirror and you could see the radios. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take a picture. Watch this neat trick. I can show you. It just occurred to me how I can do this. Ignore the GoPro. I was filming today. Let's get this pulled up. Yes, I'm taking a picture with my phone. I'm going to email it to myself. All right, let's back up. Let's get the whole shack in the photo. Currently, I've got this little Ten-Tech Argonaut in the foreground hooked up. I have an antenna switch behind the radios, so I have a dead-legged coax that comes out to the bench so I can hook up my little QRP radios. And if you wonder what a QRP radio looks like, I didn't bring the other one back in. They're little tiny radios. Like, this is a fairly big QRP radio. This radio is battery powered. It'll juice up here in a second and you'll actually see it. See there? Oh, look. Let me back it up here. What happened to my focus? Oh. Let me get the glare off of it. Wow. That's interesting. But trying to push it into the focus zone. Oops. I have done something to it. Wait a minute. I'll have to play with it, but it's don't have an antenna connected, so it doesn't hear anything right now. But you see, it runs off battery. This one has like a handheld radio battery that doubles as the power pack. But these allow me to talk around the world with just a few watts of power. I have a whole bunch of them. Like, different companies make different designs. This is I've got this camera bag converted to a ham radio go kit of sorts. All right, now that I've went down that rabbit hole, let's see. Oh man, y'all are wearing it out in the chat. Hassan's here and Kelly B. Nice. Hope it does rain it out. David, what is the photo walk all about? Tell us more. Did I just do that? Did I cover that one? But that's the plan. We're gonna do, street photography / architectural, just cityscape, things like that. That's what we're hoping to do. Nice evening. It was the photo wall. Snow in the north is amazing. Wish I was there though for the walk. I haven't seen heavy snow since 1993. I struggle with noise in the D5, in the knock. Any suggestions? Mostly wildfire. Kelly B. Topaz D noise is making for the cost, Dave. Yeah. And if any of y'all paid attention when I was bringing up my web browser yesterday or the other day when I did my stream, Martin's in. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad to see you here. You'll notice that I got the Topaz D noise icon on my toolbar. I downloaded the 30-day free trial and played with it, and I really liked it. I have not bought it yet. Yes, that is coffee. I will tell you there's a secret to it, though. It's decaf. Gives you the act of drinking coffee, which I like. And it's pretty good decaf. But Icon 705, that is some kit. Thank you. But yeah, wait till you see the base rig. I really need to power it up and take the picture with it on so you can see. The bottom one, I got to reach around behind it to turn the power on. The power cord's unplugged from it. But let's see if I can get this to show. There we go. Let's do this now. I think I took the picture earlier. There we go. And the screen on the middle radio is actually color. Somehow it doesn't come across that way. but the photo just makes it look blue. But I'm going to do what I done the other day and email it to myself. Photos. And get it in the computer, and then I can throw it up on the screen. So let's see here. Where's it at? Mail. There it is. This is what I'm always doing. Do you have any denoise software? Okay, y'all are solving problems. Excellent. You guys are killing it. But yeah, one of the things I wanted to do tonight was go over a few items that will be of interest of that would be of interest to the photographer, you might say. And there's a lot of stuff that's out there, and I've got a couple of things pulled up here. But the first one, let's see. Yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, I think I have the image. Let me check my email. Back. Yep. There we go. All right. And since Ray pointed it out, I updated my browser. But let me switch over to Web No Dave. That's the radios right there. And what you're looking at is, this is a central power supply that feeds this radio only. This radio is a VHF UHF radio that is powered from a supply under the table. This station on the very bottom is an antenna tuner, an HF radio, and the power supply that feeds it. Then this is a 500 watt amplifier with the power supply that feeds just this amplifier. Then I have a Polk Audio bookshelf speaker I use for a desk speaker. Then down here in the foreground is a Tentec Argonaut 5, which is a little portable radio, and I've got a little antenna tuner on it and a watt meter just so I can get the antenna tuned. I use it to check the tune of the antenna. And this is the one I'm playing with on the bench because, like I said, I've got a coax stubbed out that so I can just kind of hook these radios up. See, I've got it plugged straight into this bench supply to feed power to this one. That's what that cord's doing right there. Then this is the Morse code keys I build. This is one of them. The other one is actually behind this radio. It's a different model. It's similar construction but prettier. I made this straight key. It's way up here on this shelf too. But yeah, that's what my radios look like. Yeah, I wanted to share that with you. I was trying to figure out how to get the camera position. I thought, why don't I just take a picture and show you the picture? That should work. Carmen's here. How you doing tonight, Carmen? Thank you for the donation. Dude, you're awesome. That's cool on so many levels. And it's a cup of coffee. And it shows coffee on the picture. Everything about that is epic. Let's see. Let me go ahead and fix this. Nope. Wrong button. Let's add one here. Here we are. Carmen is the person I'm talking to. Has finally got his channel going. And let's look at that. This is Carmen's channel. If y'all haven't done it yet, go over and give him a like and a subscribe. I would highly recommend it. He has been sharing the knowledge that he has collected over several decades of photography freely. And he has been doing it like non-stop for the past couple of months. And he is just pouring on the fuel to get this information out there. And there's so much going on here. And like, he doesn't have a particular brand he likes of any kind. He likes cameras. That's what he likes, cameras. And he loves photography for what it is. He lives up in New York, in the New York area. Don't know exactly where, but he lives in the New York area. He goes to Manhattan, does street photography occasionally. But yeah, you would do well if you're interested in vintage cameras, especially film cameras. Go over and give his channel a look. He's awesome. There you go. I've thrown the weight of my power in your court. Like I have any. Let's see here. Kill this here. I have the D noise. Okay. Oh, they're still talking about D noise. Martin. I have an iPhone 8. This is iPhone X. You see, I still have the picture of the radios on the phone. But hey, the focus is working right now because I got it in manual focus. I'm pretty sure I'm in focus. It looks pretty good from here. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty close. I think I might have scooted back a little bit. Another channel I have subscribed. There you go. You're welcome, guys. Thank you for going over and giving him some help. You need that 500 watt amp bass angler? I know a guy that might put you in one, and a power supply to jump with it so that you can juice it. That power supply produces 70 amps at 12 volts. That thing is enormous. And it works really well. All right. I'm gonna do some this stream is about Christmas gifts for the photographer. So if you're not a long-time subscriber, Bass Angler might know about this video. He's been around about this long. But if you've not been a long-time subscriber of my channel, I'm going to play a little 1 minute, 24-second video and let you guys just see what I come up with 6 years ago. All right? Christmas gifts for the photographer. This holiday season, if you've got a photographer in the family, you got to get them a gift. Photographers all the time using special lingo, so if you key in on it, you know what to get them for Christmas. They want things like umbrellas, and hard drives. Ugh, good grief. Why would anybody get this for Christmas? And they want long lenses. You can get this stuff anywhere. I mean, there's nothing real special about most of it. It's easy, not hard at all. Just get them something that they talk about and they'll just be happy. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button. All right, that's enough of that. I ain't gonna make you suffer through the subscribe portion at the end. I did that right after I started my channel in 2017. Not a lot of people go that deep into the videos to see it, but I thought, yeah, this is a pretty good one to kind of get you in the Christmas spirit. You know, they like things. Just key in on the lingo, and you'll know what to do. The hard drive, yeah. Occasionally, I have a good video. That one is one of my more favorites from the way back when days, and it has 132 views. I'm looking at it right now. Because, of course, it's buried in the YouTube basement at this point. But here's another thing. Yeah, I'm going to switch over to this. Here's another thing that I like to do at Christmas time is get people gift certificates to Shutterfly, because quit doing that. If you'll notice, they have a 50% off almost everything in the store right now. Discount. They're all the time running discount codes, and you know, sometimes it gets even steeper than 50. I've seen 70% off of photo books before. Now you gotta pay attention, because the other day I've got 2 photo books that I've built that's in the queue waiting to be printed, and I'm waiting on a sale good enough to print them. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the cost down on the books. And the other day I thought I'll run them through this 50% deal. Well, the books were starting out, the 2 of them, they're the family photo books from Costa Rica. They wound up running something like over $200 for the 2 of them, because I add pages and I've got a lot of photos in them. And I do hardbacks, so that they're really nice. You know, they're family heirlooms once I'm done, and that's why I'm making them, is to give them to Sierra so she'll have them when we're gone. But even with the discounts, it took something like $60 off of a $250 bill. Like, that ain't 50%. And it comes out, it's the way they game it. They game it off of the base price of the book. Before you add pages, before you add a special hardback or lay flat pages or any of those add-ons, that's how they factor in your price of your discount. Yeah. So, and if you'll pay attention, sometimes you can double up on their discount codes. You can get like free shipping and the 50% off, and you can just run both codes through at checkout and it'll take them. I've seen it do that. I've done that in the past and it works. They'll let you get both. So if you know like they've emailed you a code, if you trade with them, they'll email you discount codes. And those codes a lot of times can be stacked with the one that's already on the website. Oh, you hadn't seen it, Martin? I figured you've been around a long time. Oh, you guys are hot. Y'all liked it, huh? I'm glad. Yeah, the hard drive was the best part. Or maybe the long lens at the end. I'm not sure. That was a shipping tube I taped over an existing Sony lens I had. Had the factory kit lens, and it slipped perfectly over it, so I electrical taped it to it. Ray Soldano says, I'm a size Z 400 2.8 TC. Yeah. I wear a size Nikon Z9. And what was it, 800 millimeter f4 or f6 or whatever it is. Okay, let's see here. Let's jump back to this. But I like the hard drive the most. Good grief. Why would anybody get this? Oh, Lord. I did go out today to shoot the YouTube video for the lens I was talking about the other day, the radioactive Canon lens on the SL2. And what my plan was, I don't have them in my shirt pocket now. My initial plan was to just kind of wander around on Main and down Market. And since people would be out for Christmas doing Christmassy stuff, that I was just going to ask for some street portraits and do some on the street portraiture with this lens. And see what the effect was in camera once I got back home of doing, because I wanted to shoot wide open too, and get some character in the images from this lens. This lens has an odd character to it. It's almost got that 80s glamour photo glow. If you look at them old glamour photos from the 80s, yeah, this lens was probably used to do a bunch of that. And it will produce that glow. But it rained the whole time. And so I ended up, let's see here. It can't be. I've got it in manual focus. Let me check. I thought I did it. Huh. Let's see, am I? All right, somehow it got back in autofocus. I don't know what happened there. Let's see. It is hunting. Let's see, is it still in manual? Yeah. Okay. Right now, I might have turned it off earlier. I don't remember. I don't know how, but it switched back to autofocus. I don't know what I've done. That's interesting. I don't remember if I turned it off or not. But yeah, it was back in autofocus. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that, because the other video, it did that through the whole thing. Oh, David, did you get the reply to your email? Yes, and we're working on the date. What lens is that again? This is the Canon FL 58mm f1.2. This is a really interesting lens to me because let me take the lens hood off. Number one, it's radioactive. Number two, the aperture ring is this gold ring at the front, and of course there it is. But right behind the aperture ring is this control ring. Yeah, that I can move. It's this little band right here, and that ring it operates the aperture. It'll stop it down, and then as you open it, it drives that ring back. It's some kind of clutch deal. But if you have the adapter, this lock and open function on the adapter where you can actually change the adapter, that actually engages a pin in the lens and makes the aperture ring operate like it should, opens and closes like normal. But if you switch this to open, then you have to use this stop down ring to stop it down. It's kind of a weird function. So you leave it in lock and then it acts like a normal aperture ring. But it's like minimum focus is 2 feet. So yeah, 0.6 meters. It's real short minimum focus distance. For a 58mm, that's close. But it's heavy. There's a lot of thoriated glass in this bad boy and a lot of metal, brass, I'm assuming, in the construction of it. It's a nice lens. It's got a little set screw lens hood. Tom Allen, how you doing this evening? Thank you for stopping in. The photo walk should start around noon, and we're going to meet at the Chattanooga Choo Choo at the Frothy Monkey. Excuse me, my nose is itching again. Let's see. I'm curious to see if that focus switches back again. I'm going to have to jump back over here. Check it. Nope, it's still in manual. I don't know what the deal is. What's happening making it do that? That's kind of strange. Is the radioactive part of the lens an issue? Let me just show you. All photographers have a Geiger counter, surely. I bought this one. I've probably had it a year now. Let's see. Has it got power? Yes, it juiced right up. Okay. It's booting up. It has to boot up. It's almost done. We have 0.29 microsieverts of radiation in the ambient air in the room. Now, I want to say the tube is on this side. Yeah. Yeah, see how it's picking it up. It's not enough radiation to cause like real issues. Like it shouldn't hurt the camera. But see, it's picking it up. It's showing 12 currently. No, 1.21. I've had some Pentax lenses that measured seriously high. Seemed like, yeah, the back element has a lot more. See? The problem used to arise with these lenses. It wasn't the lens that caused the problem. It was the thoriated glass in the viewfinder. They found out, so they added the thorium to make the glass clear. And, you know, this is 50s, 60s tech. But the thorium added to the mixture actually made the glass clearer. And they found out that if they used it in the viewfinder was clearer and it worked like a dream. Well, problem is that viewfinder is literally this far from your eye, from your cornea, and it would give you cataracts looking through it. So if you get into them really old cameras made before, say, 1972 or so, I'd check them. I'd check the viewfinders on them before I used them. Because it's entirely plausible that you've got a vintage camera with a thoriated viewfinder, and that'll give you cataracts. This, let's see. in theory, this cap should probably about stop the radiation. And it's just a plastic cap. I have to reboot it. I shut it off. But it doesn't, like the radiation is very weak in this lens now. I don't know. I've had some of them that read pretty strong. Some of the older Takumer ones that I've had, they were pretty hot. I've gotten rid of most of them. I sent them to use Photo Pro with a note that says this lens shows up on my Geiger counter, so you'll know. I don't think they care. Block off December 2nd, 2023. Is that Main 24? Is that when that happens? You can do cancer treatments with them. Okay, it's back on. Let's see. Let's set that there. Now all you seen we do is we put the lens cap in the way. Let's get it going. Now, I'm not right on the lens here either. So yeah. Yeah, it's picking it up. These things work off of a weird process. They have a little tube of some kind of gas, and as them radiation particles pass through that gas, it sometimes induces a current and it measures it. But okay, let's put the plastic cap back on it. Okay, it'll have to take a second. Yeah, it's at 2.56 microsieverts right now, which is about, let me think about that. How many levels? It's about 10 times higher than ambient room temperature radiation. I gotta let the Geiger counter calm down. It takes it a minute. There it goes. 1. It's still high. It'll take it a second to get back to normal. Once it does, we'll stick it under and check it. Have you ever tested a Helios 44-2? No. Okay, now we're back to normal. Let's see what it says it is here in a second. Oh, it's going through the cap. 1.6, which is, it dropped off a pretty good bit. It won't make it through the camera body, I can tell you that. Let's see. Let's see if our little Russian lens here has got any juice. No. This ain't a Helios 44 though. This is a Industar 50-2, which is a little 50 f2 pancake lens. Yeah, it doesn't have anything in it. It's fine. Well, you know, the plastic cap will almost stop it. So, I set it on it. Yeah, once it goes over 1, it starts going off. That's about 4 times atmosphere. So, yeah, you get it. I mean, it won't pass through like the camera body. Nah, it'll stop. But yeah. Yep, first Saturday in December. Phil, put your request in for that day off now. All right. I'll have to look it up. What time does it start? Does it have any effects on your thought? On you, though. I don't think it does. Let's see. If we put it on the camera, and then we set the Geiger counter on the back of the camera, everything that passes through the camera will be picked up. See? Oh. What'd I do? Oh, I hit a button. There we go. I hit the darn menu button. So now it's restarting. That don't surprise me. But no, I've never tested a Helios 44-2. I think I have a broken one down in the machine shop. Yeah, there it goes. We'll see what it says. It says 0.7. Some of it's getting through. 0.6. 0.6, 0.7 from 0.25, which is what the ambient room is. Aaron made it. How you doing this evening? Let's see. Yeah, it's about 3 times over Atmo. So some of it does get through the camera body. But I don't know. I'd like to know what the... Let's see here. Let's just look up how many microsieverts is a safe exposure. Yeah, indoor microsieverts. Well, let's see. Does it say? Oh, they're getting into the weeds. Just tell me a number. 1.5 millisieverts. A micro is 1/1000th of a millisievert. So you can have 1,500 microsieverts a year is the nominal exposure above room value, which is 1/4 of 1 above nominal. So yeah, they're saying, so it would be, what's coming through here is 0.8 1 of 1. So you're about 1,200 times below the annual dosage. Minus 1/4. So actually you're about 2,500 times less than the annual dosage of going out in the sun, I'm assuming. Yeah. So it measures. Go compare it to a smoke detector. I'm kind of scared too. That smoke detector's going to go make it go nuts, ain't it? That thing's got tons of radiation in it. But yeah, there's no issue with it. I left this lens on my XT3 for weeks and shot with it a ton. And they said it would damage the sensor. I really don't see how it can, just to be honest with you. Wasn't there something a long time ago about radiation from cell phones? Yeah, that's a different, though. That's microwave radiation. It's HF radio energy. It's different. But hey, Charles, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. But yeah, this is actually particle radiation. This is, I don't know if these are alpha or beta or what kind of, or gamma particles. I don't know. I would have to look and see what the book says it's rated to detect, because it only detects certain ones. So I got, for full disclosure, it won't detect, let's see here, beta, gamma, and X-ray is what this one will detect. So it won't pick up. I guess alpha particles are not on the list for this thing. But I think those come from like the heavy hitter stuff, plutonium and crap. Then again, I could be completely wrong. But yeah, I don't worry about it. I shoot with it. But they said that the people didn't have any issues back in the day with the lenses. They got cataracts from the eyepiece because it was right there on their eye. So if I took that lens adapter off and set that dosimeter right on the lens, it would be 30 times, 40 times what it was measuring, because the further you get away, you get like a lot less radiation. It's an inverse square rule. So if you double the distance, you only get 1/4 the energy because of dispersion. The lens might have been used in the medical field at some time. It's entirely plausible. I don't know how hot it was in the beginning because, it's been 50, 60 years. Gamma is the dangerous kind. Okay. Well, it'll pick it up. I don't know what these particles are. Let's just do a quick search. We'll just ask Google, thorium emits what kind of particle? Beta particles. Yep, it detects beta. Okay, so good thing. Okay, Whoo! It's not doing gamma. Yeah, it's emitting beta particles. It says right here. Many beta emitters occur naturally: uranium, thorium, and actinium. Examples include lead-210, bismuth-214, and thallium-206. Beta emitters are also commonly found in radioactive products of nuclear fission. Yeah, the bomb. Woo. Oh, tritium emits beta particles. And tritium is what you make gun sights out of, and, you know, the little vials on Luminox watches and all that stuff. It can't be that bad. I have another list of stuff here. Excuse me. For the camera enthusiast. And I thought I'd go through this list with some legit photographers and see how much of it actually really applied. Let's see here. What we got here is the 20 best gifts for photographers. I'm curious to see if photographers made this list or if somebody made the list up and throwed it out there to get like web hits on their site. Now I can already see this looks like photo paper. Of course, a constant source light, a roll of 120 film, a bunch of memory cards. I have this hard case. I really like the hard case, by the way. I'm not real super certain what this is. It almost looks like a pinhole camera. All right, a hard drive. Hard drive's a pretty good one, though. I got to give them credit there. A good. I would prefer it be a solid state hard drive rather than one with spinning discs, just because they're smaller and more compact. And if you're traveling, you can throw them in the bag and they're not as heavy. They don't take up as much space. Film storage boxes. Put rolls of 35 millimeter film in. Yeah, if I shot more film, I got to finish that roll in the camera so I can send off my batch. I'm almost out of year. I've got most of that roll shot. I just need to finish it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We're going to a family Christmas gathering. I'll carry it with me and shoot it there. But these are kind of nice. The old ones back in the day, if I remember right, were lead lined so that they could pass through an airport metal detector or x-ray machine. It wouldn't hurt them. Let's see. Are these? This case black and white film? No, they're just hard plastic from the looks of things. All right. Oh, look, Leica cameras. Oh, it's the shoulder strap. That strap looks vaguely familiar. Of course, mine is a artist and artisan. It's a red rope strap. Very similar construction. That's kind of ironic. I had no idea that was in there. Looks like they've got it on a Q or something. Let's see. Delta Epsilon. The scale is alpha, beta, then gamma. Oh, okay. So beta is not good. Is that a lens, baby lens? Yeah. That's an EF mount lens. Why would they make that? I know there's a lot of EF cameras in the world, but wouldn't you make your mount fit the new camera? That's interesting. I would have made it fit the new RF. That's a cool lens, though. I mean, it'd be fun to play with. That whole selective focus deal is kind of neat. Back up the data. Oh, give you cloud storage and pay for some of the subscription. I get that. That's kind of a good idea. The Rocket Air, legit. I like the Rocket Air. I have that one actually, and it's matter of fact, it's right here. I can wholeheartedly agree that the Giottos, whatever brand this is, these work really well because as you squeeze them, the nozzle doesn't flex way over. It'll flex some, but it stays pretty much where you want to shoot the air. This is done really well. I've got some cheaper versions of these, and as you squeeze them, the nozzle flexes way off plane. And these, where you put the air, it goes where you aim it. This one, they work really well. I'm a big believer in the rocket air. Oh, it's a little Gorilla Pod for your smartphone. I don't know that I'm so super stoked about one of them. What do y'all think? Y'all into that? I'm not. I mean, I get it. It's a widget, but I would never really carry it if it just kind of linger. Maybe if I had a specific use case, like I wanted to mount my camera in the car. Oh, excuse me. This one's making me sleepy to look at it. Ron says, I got a video on how to use that and keep your lens clean on my channel. Sweet. Ah, there you go. I'll come back to this in a second. Let's see here. Let's put this in. And here we go. If you like to photograph waterfalls, you absolutely need to be subscribed to Ron Durant's channel, because Ron is the master of waterfall photography. These waterfall photos that he has are insane. I mean, they're just, you just need to see them. I mean, it's incredible. I see that he does a lot of stuff at Windrock too. But yeah, if y'all haven't given him a subscription, man, go over and give Ron a sub. It'd be cool. And if you'll notice, I have already subscribed to said channel. But yeah, Ron does gorgeous landscape work. Looks like he works with some wildlife occasionally. I know he shoots birds with Phil from time to time. Let's see, the fourth video down. Oh. Ah, okay, it's right here. Yeah. Right there's the video. I'm just going to stop it because it's 7 minutes. So y'all go watch it. I'll watch it after this is over. But yeah. All right. Back to what we was talking about. Smartphone photography. Blah. No thanks on the Gorilla Pod. Next. Now, I used to be a big proponent of lens pens. I used to have the Leopold ones, which is basically the same thing. They just branded them for, they write Leopold's name on them. But I've gotten out of not using them in favor of the tissues. I keep some cleaning solution in the truck, and I have tissues, and I just use them now instead of this. Mainly because this little applicator, you don't clean it. And it's like it's made out of chamois or something. And you could easily embed particulates in it, and then you're just rubbing them back on the lens. So that's the reason I don't recommend these. Now, it's nice if you get a big old handful of dust on your lens or something, you want to use the brush on the other side, and use the brush to dust it off with first. But this thing, the longer I thought about it, the less I liked the idea of it, because you don't clean it off. So you're embedding particles into it, and over time, I'm afraid you would scuff your coatings on your lens radially. Like, even if, it could happen. With dust particles, they're abrasive. Over time, you'll scratch it. So, yeah, Ron Durant says lens pens are not good. Yeah, that's the reason I quit using them. Ron says he had one scratch one of his filters, and I can believe it. There's no way to clean it. The pen, Yeah, so I've moved them. This should be above the lens pen. Especially Zeiss lens wipes. These are the best. I don't know who makes them for Zeiss, but this is the way I clean my lenses now. I use these and in solution, basically alcohol. I use like rubbing alcohol is my liquid. But yeah, this is the way to do it. Oh, it's the Moment anamorphic lens. I actually have this lens and the case to fit an iPhone X. I think it's that case. And I got the lens for Christmas maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3. Don't remember exactly. And I used it maybe once. It does produce the anamorphic effect with the deal with the lens flare runs out like lines, but I thought that's going to be a real cool function that I would use a lot for my channel. And then when I would try to use it, it just never worked right. Like, I couldn't work it into the workflow for it to make sense. Zeiss changed their formula and it sucks now. Really? That's sad. That stuff we got from Bedford Camera out, and when we was out seeing bass angler, that stuff worked great. Walmart sells them. Nice. The hat says there is also so much misinformation about what you can safely use them for. The lens pen, I'm pretty sure, is what he's talking about. The lens pen is the reason why I managed to kill the sensor on my Nikon DSLR. Woo, they are just dreadful things. Yeah, that'd be a terrible day. TL had a scratch on a filter from silt particles. Yeah. Oh man. The hat says he bought a box of Zeiss wipes recently and it was terrible for dropping. He's calling them threads. Well, he's talking about fibers and bits of lint. So they're not like holding on to the material. I guess they made it safe for human consumption. Probably. Oh, now this is something that photographers need. Is these handy memory cards. Where's it at? Right there. You need these. The whopping 8 gigabyte. This is a class 4 card now. It's a class 4. That's a hot rod card. Woohoo! I could sell this for like $100 because it's vintage and class 4. I use it as a shuttle. If I want to get like video footage out of my phone, since I have a Mac or a Windows machine, I can't just airdrop it. I'll go into Teresa's computer in the other room, airdrop it to hers, stick it on this, walk in here and just unload it. That's what this card's now relegated to. That's why I knew where it was. But yeah, memory cards are always nice to have, This one, I bought some of these here a while back. This is the UHS-2, I think is what they call this. It's got the extra contacts on it. It does write faster. It makes a difference. All right. I'm going to have to admit, this 17 millimeter lens I got that I did the stream on unboxing the other day, I shot with it last night. And I shared a couple of the photos with some friends, and it's a keeper. It takes gorgeous photos. It has beautiful color, too. I don't know if I can get to that image from here. Surely there's a way. Man, it's pathetic how I'm so unprepared. I have so much junk stashed in this phone. Yeah, there it is. All right, well, let's just send it over. Pretty sure I done that edit in this computer. Can't remember. Figures. But memory cards are the way to go. We'll let that just float away for a few minutes. Now, let's see here next on the list. I like that one. A better strap. Oh, it's what's that brand? Is it Black Rapid? No. Maybe it is Black Rapid. What brand is that? Yeah, Black Rapid, yeah. If I just scroll down one more click, I can see the brand name. I had one of those straps at one point. That's one of those deals where it goes over the shoulder and under the arm, so it don't slide off the shoulder and it stays over to one side. That's what it looks like it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then the clip hooks to the socket. I had one that was basically just a neck strap. I still have the strap, but I lost the little anchor. I really don't know what I've done with it. I'm pretty sure I left it screwed in a lens that I sold to like B&H or somebody at some point. Hassan's got to go. All right. Well, if you've got to go make the donuts, you got to go make the donuts. So we'll see you later. Take care of yourself. Yeah, I've always, Ron asks, is alcohol safe for lenses? That's what I use. I use the full, like the 90% or whatever, the most you can get at the store. You know, you can get two grades. I get the hotter grade of the two. One's like 70 and one's like 90 something. He said he's getting 99%. I'm not even sure where you can get 99%. I don't know where you find that at. Tom Allen says he's a big Peak Design strap fan. You know, I haven't shown it, but I am too. I have 3 or 4 Peak Design straps. One's right up there that normally goes on the 500 phase Fresnel. And what I do is I screw it into the tripod socket and I run it crossbody. And that way, as the camera's at rest, it rests upside down. And that seems like it would be inconvenient, but it isn't. Once you get used to it, you grab the camera and you just bring it up, and as you bring it up, you spin it, and it works out. It just, after you do it a time or two, it just comes right up to your eye. Works really well for me. A lot of times I'll slide it around and just let it kind of hang cross draw right in front of me, and and just kind of hold my hand on the camera body, and I can just pick it up. It works really well that way. Or I'll loosen the tripod foot ring, because you can spin the lens on it and then just spin it over. But yeah, I do that a lot. And the SL2 has one on it. No, it don't. I've got a leather strap on it now, but I've got the Peak Design mounts. I got some of these extra because I measured the slot in the mount and I measured the strap, and the strap was the right size that they actually fit. So I just put them on it so I can run the anchors. But yeah, I like Peak Design straps too. I like them a lot. What about alcohol eyeglass plastic lenses? I clean these with it. They're scratched from being in the machine shop and particles off the lathe hitting them, but it hasn't hurt them from wiping the lenses down. I use it to clean my glasses. It gets all the body oil off of them, so it'll actually get them clean. One other way I watch that is I'll wash them in the sink with soap, hand soap. I'll rub it in with my fingers and underwater, and then wash it a couple of times with soap, and then that works really well for cleaning them. Liquid soap works real good for that. It is a pinhole camera. Camera Obscura, huh? Ilford Obscura pinhole camera. Does it shoot 120 film? I guess it does. Oh no! You put the film paper. Okay, I'm starting to understand. You get this film paper and put it straight in the camera and expose the paper with the pinhole. The 3-tray light type box for exposed film and exposure No. You use sheet film, 4x5 sheet film. My bad. Yeah, let's see here. Interesting. Yeah, it's shooting 4x5 sheet film. Huh. Magical image making. Instax Square. What am I looking at here? What? This has my attention. Silly as this thing looks. Maybe it's bigger than it actually looks in the picture. I think it is. I think it's actually fairly big, and it just looks small because there's no point of reference. I have the Fuji Instax square printer right over there, and it's kind of a neat trick. You can print from your phone, so like it doesn't matter what camera you shoot with. If you've got an app, you can pull the image out into your phone, do your edits, and then send it to the printer from your phone. It's kind of a neat little trick to take out in public with you and stuff. That's kind of cool. I like the Instax program. Lomochrome Purple XR 100 color negative film. Weird. Film that's made to shift colors. Well, if you like to experiment and you like film, this will be a lot of fun. That's targeting a very specific niche in the photography community. That's kind of cool, though. C41 processing, so that's standard Kodak color processing. Yes, a universal lens cap. Weird. Oh, lens cap holder. Oh, that's the deal where it's the little sticky-ony thing with the string so you don't lose your lens cap. I'm not super big into them. Let's see what we got here. Checking the chat. Make sure I ain't missing something where y'all are talking to me. Oh, yeah. The hat's looking at the pinhole camera. This is the New York Times Wirecutter Best Gifts for Photographers for 2022 list. Once the stream is done, I'll leave this page open so I can copy this link, and I'll post it in the description if y'all are interested in this stuff. Of course, I don't get anything for it, but I'll help you guys. This is just an article I found. I thought it was interesting. I figured I'd share it with you. But yeah, I'm not super into them. Little lights. I have a couple of these. I have this brand. I'm pretty sure it's this exact light. They run does it show the back? No. Normally it will take AA's, or it'll take the Sony Cinema batteries. You know, the little tooth lock Cinema Sony mount batteries. Mine will. This one says, yeah. Well, it says, or large rechargeable DSLR batteries. Let's see what they call that. You know, it's got it's the Sony latch. It's the Sony mount. You can get these batteries in like a way much more ampacity than these are right here. But yeah, that's the same one. And it's a pretty good little light. I want to say it has a color temperature adjustment. Maybe you run gels to adjust temperature. I don't remember for sure. It's right down there in a box. I haven't used it in ages now that I got this big one. I got a big LED panel right here that's got a soft box on it. And since I've got that, I don't use it. But they work real good because when I was like doing videos and streams from the front porch a long time ago, that was the light I would use. No 10 to it. The Pelican memory card case, they got $25 at the time of publication for it. And that's probably okay pricing. I ain't going to say it's high. I found one in a thrift shop. That's where I got mine. I got it in the thrift shop. And I gave like $9 or $10 for it. And it was like brand new. They actually had two. They had the one for the SD card, the one I got, and they had the one for the CF card as well. You know, the older version of the big pen, multi-pen deal. They had both of them. And I didn't get the one for CF because I wasn't using them. I still had the D810 at that point because it used one of them cards and an SD, but I just never really, I only had a few of them and I kept them in the little hard shell cases that they shipped in, so I didn't need it. That's a good idea. I wonder if you can read on an iPhone with that. It says you can. So you can actually read the SD card straight into your phone. I've never tried that. I do know that this Wi-Fi or Bluetooth keyboard will connect to my phone, and my phone becomes a tiny basically touchscreen computer that this will type straight onto. That's kind of handy. I use it to enter my logs for my POTA activations, so I can type them in here real easy into the fields. And I've composed emails with it. This is super handy. So yeah, I may be getting one of these. That ain't a bad idea. The hat says, oh, random aside, I bit the bullet and bought my XT2, the 16 to 50 kit zoom, and the 35 f2 weather resistant. Score! If I was going to get back into the Fuji XTs, I looked at the XT5, and I'll be honest with you, I was liking it until I realized you can't put a battery grip on it. And the XT3 and XT5 are essentially the same footprint. Unfortunately, since you can't put a grip on the XT5 with batteries in it, they make a little grip extension thing. The camera's too small for my likes. I don't like the feel of the camera without the battery on it. The battery grip on the XT3 made it perfect for my hand. So if I was going to go back to it, I'd probably find me another XT3 and probably get the same kit you're talking about. That's a pretty awesome setup. TL had to go. I'm sorry I'd have missed it. I have one of those dongles for my iPhone. Works well. Nice. Now that I know that, I will probably be getting one, because I love to grab photos out of the camera, like while I'm at the restaurant, while I'm out shooting, and edit one up with the phone, because I've got an app on the phone that I like to use really well to make my social media photos with. And then I'll post them to Vero from there. And I have to do the whole log into the camera, and it takes a long time. Well, if I could just stick the memory card straight in the phone, man, that would be epic. Yeah, I like that idea. What's next here? Oh, this is one of those Pocket Tripod Pro. This is one of them folding tripods. Makes a tiny tripod out of it. If you've never seen one of these working, this is pretty cool how they make that thing. It's, it folds up to the size of a credit card. You just snap this thing apart and put it back together, and it makes a little tripod to set your camera on. It's cool. Tim Childers has one called a platypod, and it's a little plate, and it's got a ball mount on it. And he can take it, and it's got little feet that screw into it, and he could use it in places in Rome where he couldn't use a regular tripod. I see Hat just pinged me on Vero. I will answer that in a little while. But yeah, thank you. Lucked out with it too. You did. 35 was 240 pounds. That's all. That's like $325 US. Yeah, you scored that one. Second hand in excellent condition with the packaging. So basically it's new. Apparently it has some marks on the internals, but I can't see any. Shoot it. Go take pictures then. Yeah, especially if you know it ain't perfect, run with it, because now you ain't got to worry about scuffing it. It's like this 17 I bought. Yeah, here it is. It's got some super little light scuffs in this little logoing at the top where they put the lens element layout. There's some scratches in it. But I got it second-handed, and it was $85. So if I scuff it up or bump it on something, I don't care. There's some freedom that comes with getting a good deal like that. Yeah, I wholeheartedly will do that. That's a good deal. The zoom was 110 pounds and has the UV filter stuck on it. On one hand, I have a stuck filter. On the other hand, I got a lens cheap and I have a free filter with it. So win-win. Way to look at the positive. I mean, at the end of the day, if you do need the filter off, I mean, it winds up destroying it, but you can remove the filter. There's ways to get it off. Bass Angler sent me a little widget one time that was a little plastic ring with some grippy things on it that you could put around it to turn the filter with. But yeah, you can split the filter very carefully with a Dremel. You split that ring around the perimeter, and then finally, once you break the glass out of it, it'll give enough, then it'll come out. You can get it out. It's removable. But yeah, it's just kind of tough. If it's not causing problems, I'd leave it. Ron says you can't copy files to the dongle and then copy to the phone. It will only read files that were shot from your camera. You can't even copy photographs to it to copy to your phone. Interesting. It will only read the camera photos. That's bizarre. See, the Leica shoots in JPEG and DNG RAW. I'm going to order one. I'm going to try it. It would be kind of cool because I'll have my camera bag with me a lot of times. So if I've got that little widget, man, it'd be nice to be able to just sit down, stick the memory card straight in the phone, basically, and be able to pull some photos off of it. That's interesting. I did wonder if I'd need to cut the ring. I was going to try with a thin file to see if I could get through. The rings are either aluminum or brass. It'll cut super easy with a file. There's no retaining ring on it, though, so I can't get the glass out ahead of time. Yeah, you just have to... You probably will end up breaking the filter glass. And you got to be careful if you do, because you can reach through the filter glass and scuff your front element of your lens. It doesn't stick up past the filter glass any at all, because if it does, file horizontally down till you scratch the filter glass, and then you can use the file to drive those two notches to turn it like a screwdriver. Does that make sense? Like as it files down, it'll file down, make a notch on either side of the glass. Then you can just grab it in the center and just twist the file and turn the whole thing, and it'll probably come right off. It knows. That's interesting. That's all you use yours for. Huh. Okay. Yeah, the hat says that Apple does like to lock things down, though, because it's sad, but it's not a huge surprise, and I agree, it's not. Woody Mallory says, will Topaz denoise work as a standalone? All I use is Nikon NX Studio and Raw Therapy. Man, you use Raw Therapy. Whew. That's pretty hardcore. I tried to use Raw Therapy. That program is complicated. I mean, I could do basic stuff with it, but it has literally all of these super complicated engineering functions that you can do with it. It's a piece of software that if you was to master it, you could literally manipulate anything. It was crazy how complex that software is. But I think that Topaz works standalone. I downloaded just the denoise, and you just open the photo in it that you want to do the denoise to, and it'll do it. Worked good for me. I do have a lens wrench and a lens thread cutter, so I tried using that to get some extra leverage. It didn't budge, though. I think it's cross-headed. Oh! The only way out, then, is to remove the glass so you can actually pry the filter thread to the inside and roll it out. Once you violate that thread, it'll come out. But, yeah, and you got to be super careful. Long as it's not interfering, I just leave it alone. Bass Angler says, Woody, I thought I was the only one still using the Nikon software. I don't know that I've ever installed the Nikon factory software. Ever. And I had Nikon cameras for years. I still do. There's one right here I'm filming on. All right. Oh, that was the last thing? Oh, man, I feel let down. I thought there would be more. All right, I'm going to scroll back through this list, and I'm going to pick out the things that would be super cool to actually have. All right, let me see. Well, there's quite a few things. Okay. Hard drive's kind of meh. It's okay, but it's like getting socks and underwear for Christmas. You need it, so, you're just getting somebody else to pay for it. The film hard case, if I shot film a lot, it would be cool. The red strap, I have one, which means that I would like that. Yeah, but since I already have straps, let's see. No. The Rocket Air, kind of, it's a stocking stuffer. It'd be cool in the stocking. No. Not really. I mean, photogs buy these throughout the year anyway, so you already have a big stock of them. I do. It would just go into the stores to make sure you have plenty. No. Yeah, that'd be cool. Some nice new memory cards would be sweet, just to tell you the truth, because they're kind of pricey. They're saying this one's $24. That's a standard one. That's not the what do they call these new ones? Let me see if it says it on it. Ain't it UHS 2? Ain't these UHS 2 cards that's got the extra contacts on the back? Pretty sure it is. Yeah, I see a 2 mark on it. But these would be cool. Some of these. Do you ever? Y'all probably don't. There's a Miami has a Leica store, and the guys that run the Leica store in Miami do a YouTube channel, and what they do is they do live streams, and it's David and Josh are the two guys from the Leica store, and they'll talk about different things, just whatever. It's all Leica oriented, of course, but they'll talk about their own personal workflow. And David Farkas, I think, is the guy's name that owns the store. He has this rule about his memory cards. He buys the card, shoots it full, and then sticks it in a Ziploc bag with a sticky note that basically has the date and like a small description of what's on the card, and then he files them. And he never shoots a memory card twice. He says they're so cheap that he always buys new ones and just uses new ones. I thought about that, and I disagreed with him. Because memory cards in my book are kindly expensive, and the whole point of going to memory cards from film is multi-use capability, so that you can use it over and over. And I just didn't agree with that. But yeah, he shoots them one time and then saves them, and Josh was joking about it. He's like, yeah, he has these boxes just full of these little memory cards in Ziploc bags. It's just like, man, that would be so many cards for me, because I don't know how many cards over the years I would have filled up at this point. It would have been a lot. Tom says, I have like a taste in a Fuji budget. That's a good one. You got me on that one. Ron's got to go. All right. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Charles has Nikon software installed and hasn't used it in ages. It's a great raw editor. A little more stuff than basic. Okay. Interesting. I don't use Lightroom either. Oh, wow. Ron said, put the lens in a vise and whack it with a hammer and chisel. I see it now. Woody Mallory says, Becky from the Grays of Westminster has the best live stream voice. End of story. Except for me. Calling you out, Becky. We're going to have to do a showdown. You sound like me, Tom. Like, I have the 600 f4 taste, but the 2 to 500 budget. Yeah. Oh. Now, bass angler, the 2 to 500 ain't no slouch. For what you're paying, that lens punches up. That lens is incredible. I was kind of shocked at what you get with that lens. Let's see, make sure I ain't missing nothing. But memory card, yeah. The camera strap, the Black Rapid, they're like, I would classify them more as a pro tool than just a average shooter. This would be fun, but I wouldn't use it a lot, especially shooting sheet film. It's just the process is so cumbersome that I would probably end up just not really using it much because of that. I like the idea. The idea is really cool. And it would be cool to like take kids and shoot photos on the sheet film and then take them into a dark room and develop the negatives, and then scan them with a digital to get them where they can get them on their phone or whatever to get them the scans. But it'd be cool to do that, to introduce kids to film photography, just something different. That would be kind of cool. I'll give it that. And it's just it's a toy. I mean, think about it. You're not going to shoot anything. I mean, somebody, now that I say this, will go buy this camera and will shoot a coffee table book with it just to spite me. But no one's going to use this camera for any serious work. But like I said, now that I've said that, somebody will do something serious with it. It's a neat idea. It's like the Instax. I mean, people done photo books with Polaroids, so it don't surprise me. The lomography film, I'm not super there. No. Yeah, pretty good idea. Like, if you're just getting started in artificial light, some constant source lights are nice because with a digital camera, you can get the composition really easy. You just look at the back of the camera, put it in manual, set your ISO at, 800, 600 or something, somewhere in there, and then start adjusting aperture speed and shutter on the camera until the display shows you what you're looking for and take the photo. With constant light source, you don't have to worry about tethering the cameras or any of that. No radio triggers. It just works out. That's a kind of a nice thing about constant source lighting. Now, the negative to constant source lighting is it's bright. And it's not as bright as flash strobes. Flash strobes will emit way more light in the moment that they're firing than this constant source light will produce. It's math. The lumens peak way higher momentarily. But it will get you to it'd be nice, especially if you're doing like product photos and you want to light a light box or you want to have light coming in from one direction to light the product a certain way. Constant source lights are really nice for that. So yeah, it's got its place. It'd be kind of nice to play with. Like I said, I've got a couple of them. Of course, the SD card case, I wouldn't complain if I got a Pelican SD card wallet. The dongle, yes. The more I look at that, the more I'll probably order one once this stream is over. I try not to use this word too much, but it's a gimmick. I mean, it's a device. This one's made for a smartphone. If you look at it, you can see these cutouts are so an iPhone will slip down in it. You can see what it's for. Yeah, original cell phone mount that when unfolded. It's for your smartphone. You can tell, but I mean, it allows you. It keeps you from propping it against stuff, and it won't fall over. So it has its place, but most people don't use these things. I mean, it's an answer to a question that's not asked a lot of times, just to tell you the truth. But yeah, there's several items on this list that are kind of nice. The rest of it, not so much. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about stuff like that and have some chit-chat time with you guys. Let's see here. Let's just jump back over to me. But let's see, are they still on the repeater? Nope, they're done. There we go. Let's see. If you want a pinhole style experience, but a bit more convenience, just get an old box brownie and a roll of 120. It's not radically different. I see what you're saying. Oops, sorry about that. Thought I heard somebody pull up. Get that box out of the floor. All right. Yeah, I have a Brownie. It's a 620, Target 620. I have to re-spool my 120 film on the 620 spools to use it. Somebody's on the porch. Wonder if that's Teresa. Well, no, in a second. They'll come in here. I guess it is. You here? Yeah, it's Teresa. She's back home. I thought I did hear someone pull in, didn't I? Since I have to fix my own dinner now, I need to drop off for a while. I don't know if it's still alive. All right, see you, Woody. I have had my 2-500 for about 4.5 years, and it has been trouble-free. Since I mainly shoot birds, it's about the only lens I use, so it has seen it all from wet to frosted over. Bass Angler gets his money's worth out of his gear. Grab the AR. I don't think I have one in this room with me. Oh, move my camera mount. There we go. You got to be able to read the web address. Mine is a 620 as well. If you use the Ilford rolls, you can trim down the edges so it fits into the case. So long as you have the proper 620 take-up spool, it works well enough. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've been transferring all of mine over to a 620 spool. You know, it takes it, and it's a double trip. You roll it off of the 120 onto a 620, and then re-roll it onto another one to get the orientation of the film paper correct. It takes you a few minutes to do it in the dark. I don't have a dark room. I have to go in the bathroom and be in pitch black while I do it by feel. I've shot a few rolls through that 620 camera. It's fun. It's interesting. It's just different. Robert Varner says, I was going to say get the shotgun. Normally people that come out this far, they're supposed to be here.
Are you gonna live stream again?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go take a shower.
All right. Cool. Did you see the recent Artemis launch? I have seen a bunch of stuff about the Artemis launch. I don't know what the Artemis launch is, though. Looking. Just get them a Visa card. That's what Aaron's like, being pragmatic over here. I seen it now. Stick that on a D500 and it reaches out. Oh yeah, he's talking about that 2-500. That's what he uses. The 2-500 on the D500. Tom Allen shot the Artemis launch. Nice. Wow. Gear Junkies is here. How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. I keep reading the chat instead of talking to the camera. But so the people that's late to the party, they have to go back and watch the beginning of the stream once I upload it to YouTube so they can see the video I played at the beginning showing Christmas gifts suggested by the Georgia photographer. Maybe I'll post that onto my Facebook page. Maybe I'll drop a link into the little box on there where you can do a post and see if it'll link it internally. Test launch to the moon. Oh, okay. 2 a.m. on a work night. Ooh. Yeah, I bet you was worth like being around the next day. Oh, man. By the time you got home and in bed, it was probably 4. And then you get back up in an hour to go to work. Oh, that's just, yeah, that'd be punishing. I'm trying to keep this manageable. But yeah, let's see here. I was going to talk about the photos for a few minutes. Let's see. What are we looking at here on time? We're an hour and a half in on this stream, guys. Wow. that went by quick, didn't it? Okay, I shot this package today. Did not get any portraitures because it was raining, and I got video footage to build a video with, but the video may not happen because it's kind of disjointed because of the rain. I don't know. I may put it together. I may not. Depends on what I can work out with it. I'll get it into Resolve and see what I can do with it. But I do have some photos. Let me see. Yeah, here, I'll just pull it up on this. Okay, well, let me get me out of the way. There we go. Okay, what you have here is just some photos I shot of the city, and this is the program is Exposure X7, but Back Sangler says he's a bachelor tonight, so he's free. But what I was trying to do was shoot the lens wide open. Now, it was raining actively. Actually, at this point, I don't think it had started yet. But what I was focused on was the building here. And the computer has to think for a minute. Give it a second. It looks blurry because it hadn't focused. I don't know if you can see the glow around the letters. At f1.2, it has this kind of glow to it. You can see it's sharp, but it has this kind of day glow effect. Alright, let me get up here to the... See how... You can see the bricks. Actually, it looks like I focused on the traffic light instead of the choo-choo sign. But you can see it was raining at this point. I had took shelter under an awning on the sidewalk. There was an old storefront that was closed down that had an awning, and I was in the dry right here. But yeah, these cars are actually moving, but the shutter speed was so high that it made it look like they were stationary. And then I walked on down the street, and this tree, the rain had knocked the leaves off of it, and I thought it just kind of looked cool, so I grabbed a photo of that. And let's see. Like I said, this computer needs updating. But you can even see that kind of glow effect over the leaves here. You can see how shallow the depth of field is. But it makes for that 1980s style glamour photo. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. This is inside of the Reed House Hotel. It's a classic hotel built in the 1800s. Late 1800s. I think it was built in the 1880s, like 1883 or something. The floor is the lobby floor here is actually marble, and it's big, like 4x8 sheets of white marble is the tile size. It's enormous tile size. Literally, I think they're like 4x8 sheets. They're huge sheets of marble, and one or two of them's cracked, but most of them are not, and I'm pretty sure they're original. Gear Junkie says lots of my old lenses have that glow. Yeah, I wanted to do a portrait or two with it, but I never could find anybody that was in a good spot to get a portrait. But yeah, they had just polished the floor. See how you can see the reflection of the Christmas lights in it. I thought that's pretty cool, so I grabbed it. I'm going to skip that one. There's a story behind that photo. This one, I just took a snapshot of this cat walking in the street. Look at this. You can see it. You can see how I had focused on the wall. You can see the glow around the lock. It shows there pretty good. Around the hinge, it shows up. But yeah, since he was moving, he's a little overexposed on his hat because of the whole scene was underexposed. C to C made it. Hi, y'all, and bye, y'all. I hit the thumbs up on my way out. Catch y'all, everyone, on the next go-around. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Back, sort of. Thank you. And then I did this interstate sign on Market Street just because I wanted to see how clean it would resolve. And it seems to be pretty clean. Those hexes are from the dimples where they put the sign is reflective. and this number is a reflective material that's like stuck to the sign. And you can see the debris. It's like lichen is growing on it where it's under a tree. But yeah, this is handheld. I don't even remember the shutter speed. It was 4 or 5 hundredths of a second. Somewhere in here it will tell me the metadata if I knew where to look. Is it here? No. I don't remember in here where it tells me metadata. It says it somewhere and I just don't remember how to find it. Maybe if I do this, bail out and then hover over it. Yeah, here we go. 1/3200th of a second at ISO 500. I don't know what f.9. I don't know what that's about. How did it know that? I guess it mathed it based on the shutter speed and the ISO and the exposure. It knowing how much the exposure was, it guessed the aperture. I was at f1.2 and it says it's at f.9. That ain't bad. Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see what does it say about this. It says the same thing. Yeah. Huh. F1. F22. I must have stopped that one down because I was inside. How would I do that? The shutter speed's 1/20th of a second. Oh, because I was shooting indoors. I wanted depth of field. I broke the rules. This guy was actively sawing one of these concrete blocks in two, and about the time I got in position where I could get a photo of him, because he was behind this wall as I was coming down the sidewalk, I come around the end of it, raised my camera up, and he set the saw down. I thought, man, it would be a cool photo of the smoke coming off the saw blade where he was cutting that concrete block with that cement construction saw. But, you know, you take what you can get. But that's where all the dust is coming from. But it was raining at this point. It was actively raining. Yeah, look at that. Gear Junkie says, thoughts on adapting a Zenith Helios lens. Just need a focus helicoid and M42 adapter. Yeah, I have, let me see if I can get to it real easy. Right here. No. I don't remember where I put it. Yeah. No. It's this one. Here it is. Yeah. All right. I got a couple of these. Let me switch back over to me now. I got a couple of these. This one came from Cuban Rum. He sent me the lens. The lens is an old Nikon 50 millimeter f2.8. It's an EL. It goes on an image enlarger. It's an enlarger lens. So it has no focus helicoid because you move the enlarger up and down till it's in focus. So you buy this helicoid. As you can see, it just moves the lens back and forth to give you focusing. That's your focus. And this is just screwed in. It's an M42 mount. So you can buy this little helicoid that's M42. And this one is M42 on both ends. And then you just buy an adapter ring for whatever mount you want. Screw it onto the back. And then it'll fit whatever camera you want to put it on. This is Z mount to M42. And then I guess this thing is indexable so that you can actually bring the front around so you can see what aperture you've got it set at. I think that's why it indexes, but hey, I need this. I'm pretty sure my new 17 millimeter TT Artisan lens now has a lens hood. All right. I cannot use that lens cap though. All right. I'd rather have the lens hood anyway. But yeah, like this little, no, this one's M39, I think. This ain't M42. It's smaller, I'm pretty sure. Might not be. This may fit this helicoid, but yeah, these little focus helicoids are cool. Of course, this lens has focus. Ah, This ain't an M42 helicoid. This must be an M39. They make them in it. I got an M42 one as well. That's around here somewhere. I just don't remember where. But yeah, you can buy these little helicoids for macro focus a lot of times. Maybe that's where it's at. Is it on there? No? That's a macro lens. I did have it on that macro lens. I did a video where I had a macro helicoid on the macro lens on my Z6 and took some macro photos. It was cool. But I don't know what I'm doing here. But yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see. But yeah, it's a good idea to do that. You can play with them. The only Helios lens I've ever seen has been an M42 and can focus fine with an adapter. There's a Jupiter lens, the 51, I think, or the 5, the Jupiter 5, which needed an adapter, but that was a Kiev mount. Yeah. Yeah, this one actually has focus. You actually drive the whole thing. The aperture ring on this lens is the filter thread ring. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell it, but I can move this and you can see it. There's a little dot. See that little tiny dot right there? It corresponds to the aperture. If I can turn it, you can see it moves through it. Yeah. Unfortunately, if you bump this against something, it has no detents. So you can just barely rub it and it'll move. And you'll lose your aperture. That's the one thing that's one of the things I didn't like about this lens. The lens being so tiny, it was just kind of cool to shoot with. I shot with it a little bit. But the adapter is way bigger than the lens itself to get it onto the camera. It's like thicker and big. It's bigger around, and it's just kind of weird looking. But it's a neat little lens, but it's tiny. But the one thing I did like about the aperture was that if you was going to shoot like say you're going to shoot at f8, you'd set it on f8, and then you didn't have to worry about it. As long as you didn't touch the front and didn't bump it, you didn't change your aperture, and it was out of the way. You know, they've got it contained down in front, so you know the only ring you're grabbing is the focus. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. That's the Industar. Yes. Industar 50-2. It's actually an f3.5 lens. But yeah, this one actually has, I don't know, I'm not real sure if I can, let me get it to where it's in focus. Actually says made in USSR right on the lens. And it says it in English, which makes me wonder about that. Why would they write it in English unless they were trying to sell it to the West? You know, I thought that was an unusual thing. I bought it because it said made in USSR, but then I got to thinking about it. Why is it written in English and not, acrylic? Isn't that what Russian text is technically classified as? The Bubble Bokeh Monster. I think this one does do bubble bokeh. I believe you're right. I had another lens that done the donut bokeh. I got to remember which one that was. Oh, the mirror lenses. They do donut bokeh. They do legit donuts. The bubble bokeh is different. It looks cool. Yeah. Aaron's the one that got me to looking into these lenses. He's got one that takes incredible photos. The hat says, I love Industar lenses. They punch so far above their weight, and they're lovely to work on. You can rebuild them entirely in about 2 hours, including clean and re-grease. Gorgeous lens. Well, there's nothing there. I mean, most of this is this protective dust cap. That's the whole lens. It's nothing to it. There might be 4 lens elements in there, maybe. There just ain't room for many more. Gear Junkie, a lot of Zenit cameras shipped with Helios lenses. Helios 81H850F2. The Zenits were imported to the UK by Dixon's Group as a budget range and shipped with either Industar or Helios lenses. They also imported Practica and Pentacon as a mid-range. So you think that's how it got out? Since it's a USSR lens, it was made during the Soviet period. So you think that they were sold to the UK and then it's made its way across the Atlantic to the US? I got it on eBay from somebody. I don't even remember where they were stationed. You know, I'm assuming it was a US lens. I normally sort by US only so I don't have to pay import tariffs. That's good information, though. Vintage Vanix. Hi, David. How you doing? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate that. Let's see here. I had let's see. I'm trying to make sure I don't overlook anything. Hat, you need to find the Helios 35 shoved in an Industar body. Is that what you got? Because that lens is cool. But you have something you had to like almost build. Kind of like that XT3 deal where I built the lens. Where is that? Let me show that to y'all guys. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. This is when you know you're a camera nerd. When you do this sort of stuff. This is a Fuji X mount. As you can see, I have an Allen bolt in it. And the lens itself is an Argus 50mm f2.8. And the reason it's mounted like it is, and there's a big piece of an inner tube on it right here, is because the Argus lenses, this is the focus ring. The focus ring is typically made onto the camera mount so that the lens doesn't spin. The aperture ring, I think, is the front here. Yeah, the front of the lens is the actual aperture ring. And this is the focus helicoid. And it's normally fixed on the camera to where it's in such a way that you can't spin it properly. But it has a bayonet on it, a little tiny bayonet mount. And I made a bayonet adapter. I machined this myself and hand cut the bayonet myself with a file, and I had to make an engagement point right there so it would actually bite. I don't know if you can actually see it. There's an actual cleat right there that locks onto the lens so that I know that it has it. But it only fits one way. Yeah, it fits just right, just like this. But the bayonet, oh, that's right. Yeah. The black part of the lens is the part that moves. You can see as I spin the silver part, it moves the bayonet. See that? So you can't grab it here and focus. It won't work. So what I done is I cut this ring of aluminum out, split it, and then put the rubber band on it made out of a bicycle inner tube to put tension on it. And it slips on the back over that black portion and has enough friction to drive it so I could focus the lens. And then I adapted it to the camera like that. And then what happens is to get it to where it's like you get your minimum focus distance. You know, unless you're going to focus to infinity, but with a digital you can actually see what's in focus. I would drive it all the way to minimum focus, and then I loosen this screw. Well, I've got it tight now, probably because I finally got it dialed in. But I can loosen that screw, and then this whole thing will slide in and out of the body until I get the gauge line right, and it allows you to... Dave, show this. Okay. Let's see what happens when I click on it.
Customized, save $652 with Liberty Mutual.
This weird toolbox replacing gadget is quickly becoming the most popular Christmas
That-
gift of 2022. It replaces up to 90%.
If you are into vintage lenses, you know the Russian Helios family. The most famous
Can y'all see
being
that?
the Helios 44 and 44 II.
Let me close this. I closed the chat window. There. I'm trying to copy it. Let me see if I can get this. That didn't do it.
If you are into vintage lenses, you know the Russian Helios family. The most famous being the Helios 44.
Yeah, let me see here. Let me do it this way. Copy. Close. How do I close this? Relaunch the... Alright, I'm back. But I do have the link now. So let me close this down. Open this back up. Open this. Drop the link in. Paste and go. And...
If you are into vintage lenses,
pause. Change over. This is what he's wanting us to show. I got to learn how to drive a little better.
you know the Russian Helios family. The most famous being the Helios 44 and 44-2, and its big brother, the Helios 40, with its insane swirly bokeh.
Okay, well, yeah, there's a Helios
Do you know
44.
The Helios 33. This mysterious little lens is pretty rare, and there isn't a lot of information about it online. This is a 35mm movie camera lens, made by KMZ, and it was used on Canvas cine cameras in the 50s. And it was later used in military aerial cameras like the Weird Far 3. The problem: to focus, the Helios 33 was inserted inside the body of a dead industrial lens.
I see why you wanted us to see it. That's incredible. The only Voigtlander lens I have, see here, who is it? Tom Allen said, check out the color Scopars. This is a knocked-on classic. I don't think this is a color Scopar. This is basically a copy of a vintage M lens from Leica. And it's meant for M mount. And it was on my CL, and I took it off because I just can't get used to the M controls. I'm just not into it. I like the... well, I can go down that road. I've done it once already, so I really don't need to talk about it some more. But, yeah, it doesn't have, like, the aperture ring don't go all the way around. Some of the later M stuff, it does, but the focus ring is still this little tab thing for your hand here, and I'm not super into the whole tab focus deal. I like to have a focus ring. It's not bad, it's just different. It takes beautiful photos. Nope, they're super light and compact, so they're not like this. Okay. I never left. I didn't realize it. I was messing around with this chat. When I was trying to pull that link out, it would open YouTube in the chat. In place of the chat, it would replace it. And then the only way I could get the chat back was to close the window and then go to Docs and reopen the chat window. So I've got to learn a little more about that. What was the Voigtlander, the angry photographer, was so high on the 58? I believe it was. And he had a Nikon mount one, I'm pretty sure. He was real big on the Voigtlanders for Nikon. He loved them. And then somebody else we used to hang out with back in the day was big on the Zeiss Otis lenses. I don't remember who that was now. But I remember somebody, man, they loved them Zeiss Otis lenses. Too bad this only fits X mount, and I don't have it to fit anything else. This little lens is kind of cool. I've got it, and I've got the 35mm f2.8, I believe it is, that I found on eBay. It's over there in the box. But yeah, these are cool little lenses. These little Argus lenses. They have their own unique bayonet. They fit only on the, well, of course they only fit Argus cameras, but they fit different. The way the focus is done, there's like a little thumb wheel on the front of the camera, and you ran that thumb wheel and it drove the focus. You didn't turn the whole lens. The lens just kind of telescoped in and out. It was kind of cool. That was a problem I had to overcome to be able to adapt it. Tom Allen says, Basslander, that was Zeiss. I thought he liked Voigtlander too. I can't remember myself. Man, this has been a good live stream, guys. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We've done really well tonight. Let's see here. We've talked about thoriated lenses. We've played with a Geiger counter. We've looked at one of my early YouTube videos. Let me close this one. Tell you what. Let's see. I'm gonna play it one last time, and then I'm gonna shut the stream down and go in here and visit with Teresa, because we're due to visit today. We haven't talked much. She's been gone most of the day visiting with family and stuff. But let me get this full screened out. Yeah, I'm gonna switch you over and let you see what you should get for Christmas for photographers. If you haven't seen this yet. Scriptwick's here. I didn't even see you till just now. Man, the chat's been going by fast, so I'm sorry if I didn't catch your notes. I've been trying to keep up with them. But yeah, y'all check this out. This holiday season, if you've got a photographer in the family, you got to get them a gift. Now remember,
photographers all the
I
time
did this
using
in like
special lingo, so if you key in on it, you know what
2017.
They want things like umbrellas. And hard drives. Ugh, good grief. Why would anybody get this for Christmas? And they want long lenses. You can get this stuff anywhere. I mean, there's nothing real special about most of it. It's easy, not hard at all. Just give them something that they talk about and they'll just be happy. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified when I post a video about something on my channel, you can hit the little bell. Yeah. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. We'll see y'all soon, and y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today I almost bled into another video, didn't it? Good night, Hat. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Hassan. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's no point in brand versus brand wars. I mean, I understand why people use it, because conflict draws attention. That's why people use it. Thank you. I really appreciate your comments. Thank you for everything's been awesome. Man, you guys are cool. All right. I have to put all of this camera gear up. The table is covered in gear now because I've gotten out the lenses and they all wind up on my bench. Tonight's been a really interesting night, though. I've had a lot of fun just chatting with you guys. Yeah. So, until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? We'll see you later. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. Oh, if you haven't done it yet, hit the like button and the subscribe and all of that stuff. I haven't done that yet, and I should have.